Welcome the timeless forgotten mystery. 200,000 years ago, something extraordinary stirred upon the face of the earth. From the quiet shadows of time, humans emerged, not slowly, not through an endless chain of tiny changes, but suddenly, as if awakened from a dream. There was no long climb from primitive forms, no uncertain steps between beast and being. One moment, the world belonged to others, and the next, it belonged to us, fully formed, fully modern, carrying the same minds, the same eyes, and the same hearts we possess today. This arrival was not a gentle unfolding of nature's rhythm but an abrupt flash, a spark of life that rewrote the story of existence. Why did it happen so suddenly? What invisible force called us into being? Within the ancient code that shapes all living things, the double helix of our DNA, there hides a silent secret, a signature left by something far greater than chance. It is the story of a single fusion, the moment when two ancient chromosomes became one. That tiny, quiet joining changed everything. It marked a boundary between what was and what would come. That fusion is the thread that separates humanity from every other creature that walks, swims, or flies upon this earth. In that single act, life was redefined. Within that fusion lies the hidden spark of what we call being human. And yet, the precision of it all, the way each piece fits together with perfect timing, stirs deep unease in the scientific mind. For such accuracy, such harmony, does not look random. It feels guided, deliberate, as though someone or something had reached into the code of life itself and written a new chapter by hand. Could blind evolution alone have shaped such an outcome? Or did another intelligence, unseen but purposeful, place its touch upon us? Who could hold such power, and why would they choose to shape us this way? These are the questions that echo through time, whispering from the depths of our very cells. Our ancestors appeared almost overnight, a transformation so fast that it defied the slow pace of natural change. No other species in the record of life has ever appeared with such sudden perfection. Creatures evolved step by step, piece by piece, yet when humanity arrived, it was as though nature itself paused, took a breath, and turned a page. We stepped into existence with our minds already capable of wonder, our hands already ready to create, our voices already tuned to language. The scientists who study this mystery admit that it is unlike anything else known to biology. For nearly all other forms of life, the process is slow, deliberate, and measurable. But for us, it is a leap that seems to defy the very rules of evolution. From the very first bones that bear our shape, the evidence is clear. Humans looked as we do today. The skulls, the faces, the hands, all unmistakably human. There are no traces of half-finished forms, no long ladder of incomplete steps. It is as though the blueprint of our kind was finalized in a single moment and has remained untouched ever since. For 200,000 years, through countless generations, through the rise and fall of ice ages, empires, and civilizations, our form has not changed. Other creatures have adapted, shifting in size, in shape, in strength. But humanity, we remain constant, still carrying the same design that first appeared so suddenly long ago. This stillness is strange. It raises a question that hums beneath the surface of science itself. If evolution is an endless dance of adaptation, why did the music stop for us? Perhaps we were perfected early. Perhaps our design reached a point where no more could be added, no more could be refined. Or perhaps, and this is the mystery that haunts even the boldest minds, perhaps we were guided. Perhaps something beyond nature intervened, shaping our path, and leaving a fingerprint in our DNA. And there, in that ancient code, lies the answer, or at least the beginning of one. For deep within every cell of our bodies, scientists found something they could not ignore, a fusion of two chromosomes into one. It is a detail so rare, so exact, that it marks the very line between human and ape. Every other living relative of ours, the great apes, the chimpanzees, carries 24 pairs of chromosomes. But humans carry 23. Somewhere in the mists of prehistory, two became one, and in that union, humanity was born. But this was no ordinary mutation. It was not chaotic, not broken, not incomplete. The fusion was seamless, as if carefully designed. Unnecessary sections of code were removed. Overlapping functions were silenced so that the new strand could operate perfectly. It was not a messy accident of biology, but a work of precision. The more scientists examined it, the more impossible it seemed to call it random. Every part of the fusion appeared intentional, as if guided by invisible hands. Nature, through countless eons, can build complexity, but rarely does it move with such speed or accuracy. To witness such an event is like watching a sculptor strike once and reveal perfection in a single blow. Without that fusion, we would not be who we are. It is the dividing line between what came before and what would follow. It is the reason we stand apart from the rest of life on Earth, a quiet transformation that changed everything. And yet, for all its beauty and precision, it carries a haunting question. Was this the hand of chance, or was it design? Scientists can measure it, describe it, map it down to the smallest base pair, but what they cannot answer is why. Why did it happen only once? Why did it happen to us and not to others? Why did it happen in a way that strengthened, rather than destroyed, the code? For most mutations bring weakness, disorder, or death. But this one brought stability, intelligence, and balance. It is as if something reached into the depths of nature's machinery and tuned it, not for survival alone, but for awareness, for imagination, for creation, for the spark of consciousness itself. Every line in our code, every whisper of our DNA, tells a story that feels older than the Earth itself. We were not merely built to live. We were built to question, to seek, to dream. Our minds were shaped not only to survive but to wonder about survival itself. The true mystery is not only in the bones that lie beneath ancient soil, or in the sequences of our genes, but in the fact that we know to look for answers at all. That knowing, that restless search for meaning, may be the greatest clue of all. And so, the question remains, who or what set this spark in motion? Was it chance, a cosmic accident that happened to align perfectly? Or was it a deliberate act of design, written into the code of life as a message from something far beyond us? Whatever the truth may be, our DNA bears a signature, a fusion that marks not just the birth of a species, but the beginning of a mystery that whispers that we were shaped for more than survival. We were shaped for purpose. Inside every cell of the human body lies an entire universe, a city of microscopic precision, more complex and ordered than anything human hands have ever built. Billions of molecular machines work in perfect harmony, each one carrying out tasks so delicate, so intricate, that even the smallest mistake could mean collapse. Yet somehow, it all works, every second, every moment, across every living human being. Within this unseen world, there is structure, rhythm, and order. Proteins fold themselves into perfect shapes. DNA unwinds like a script being read by invisible eyes. Tiny motors walk along filaments, carrying life's messages from one corner of the cell to another. It is a system so breathtakingly detailed that even the most advanced computers cannot simulate it completely. And yet, this is what makes life possible. Scientists once believed that random mutations, blind accidents, could gradually build such beauty. That through countless generations of trial and error, perfection could somehow emerge from chaos. But when they peered deeper, when they looked closer into the nucleus of life itself, they began to see that randomness cannot write such flawless code. It cannot design a network where every piece depends perfectly on every other. This is not chaos that became order. It is order that existed from the beginning. Every cell, from the simplest to the most complex, carries within it a blueprint, a plan that does not just build life, but sustains it. DNA is more than a molecule. It is a language, written with 4 letters, capable of storing more information than all the libraries on Earth combined. And this language does not write nonsense. It writes with purpose. It writes instructions so exact that if even a single letter is misplaced, entire systems can fail. To believe that such precision arose by pure accident is to believe that an explosion in a printing press could produce a dictionary, not once, but billions of times, perfectly, and all at once. And yet, this is what the theory of random mutation asks us to accept. That through blind chance, nature stumbled into complexity. That order was born from disorder with no hand to guide it, no mind to design it. But every discovery in molecular biology tells another story, a story of structure, coordination, and intention. Within the cell, there are mechanisms that repair mistakes before they spread. There are editing systems that review and correct genetic errors with extraordinary accuracy. How could such systems exist before evolution perfected them? For evolution itself requires survival, and without repair, survival would be impossible. It is as if the cell knew, from its first moment, that it needed to protect itself. Even mutations, the supposed engines of evolution, are not always random. In recent studies, scientists have found that under stress, certain genes seem to direct mutations towards specific areas, as though the cell itself